Oh, the life of a Volkswagen owner, let me tell you. Man, I haven't made a video in a long time, and I know the last thing you guys want to see is this car. But I just gotta tell you, yesterday I was driving home, and I drive for work. Medical contractor where I drive all across the state, literally the entire state of Florida. And I kind of got lucky because yesterday I was only about 30 minutes from home on the interstate, but I was doing about 80 miles an hour. And as I'm making a left-hand sweeping turn about 80 miles an hour going around another car, the bolt about this big that holds the lower control arm bushing in place in the rear fell out. So the steering wheel kind of had a mind of its own, and the car was wobbly, sketchy as hell. Luckily made it home. So I took today off. Today's Friday. Took today off to go to the junkyard, grab that bolt, and fix that. But I also did something else. Now there's a huge mess here, but I gotta say, I think the Rabbit is about ready to go. After I fixed that car, I spent some time on the Rabbit. Also, last weekend, so the manifold that was cracked badly and then warped subsequently from a welder who did not give a shit about my manifold. I now have the manifolds cracks all welded up, resurfaced, holes corrected so it fits on the studs for the cylinder head, and ceramic coated by Engine Armor here in Tampa. All new hardware, all new gaskets, everything's bolted up, turbo, downpipe, wastegate. This line for the boost signal goes from the wastegate to, it's supposed to go to the turbo. It was going to the charge pipe after the turbo, so this line was about 3 feet long or so. Now it's like 16, what did I say, 3.5 feet? It was like 3 feet or so. Now it's like 16 inches about. So it goes right there to the turbo, and it's just awkward because where that fitting is on the turbo, the compressor housing is right above the boot for the axle, so it's real close. I had to get a 90-degree fitting. Anyway, everything's bolted up. Oil feed line, just put new oil in it. All I have left really is to put the passenger side axle in, and we're ready to go. But I do want to change the gear oil as well. I even cleaned the air filter, redid some of the hoses for the diverter valve because they were kind of sketchy. They weren't really holding on too tightly. I feel like eventually they'd come loose and just have a major boost leak. So anyway, let's go ahead and start it. First time cranking it over in probably over 3 months. Let's see if it starts. Okay, hitting the wrong buttons here on the phone. There we go. Oh man, it's been a while. Oh man, there we have it. She's alive. Woo! She's fucking alive. Not worried about that oil. Oh man, it's so good to hear her running right now. So much dust. I just put these GTI brakes on like right before I parked the car to start working on it. They're so fucking rusty. Tires are bald. And for whenever I'm ready to get retuned by United Motorsports, I got the Pro MAF sitting here. Big ass fucking intake, Jesus Christ. Oh man. So good to hear her run. I cannot tell you guys how painstakingly boring it's been to drive this car. And you know what? I get it. I get why people like the Mark IVs. But a bone stock 1.8T automatic with 200,000 miles, getting stressed out because every week that I drive this car across the state, it seems like something else is breaking. So now I got a long list of repairs on it, but finally getting back to the fun stuff. That's all I have for right now. Short update video. I'm gonna put the axle in today or this weekend and drive it around, see how she does. And I'll be ordering the RS4 fuel pump from the Audi. I still gotta get the upgraded injectors because these are not the 550cc, they're 440s. And yeah, then I'll be getting retuned from UM, and then I'll be working on a front mount swap. I got a side mount intercooler on it, so that's the next thing. I'll be working on the front mount intercooler on it, and yeah, we'll see after that. See you soon.